Hi, I'm Heidi with Philippine Antics, and as a fellow American, I wanted to say a few words about Mark Thornton. Every man has a story. First off, he's a fellow American, so the passing of somebody is tragic here, whether it's an accident, whether it's health issues. And Mark knew he had health issues. We've covered these different things about his legal issues and the things that he's done in the Philippines of what not to do. The same goes here. He passed away. He leaves behind a young wife and several children. He had adult children in I believe, the UK or outside, of course, the Philippines, which, as I'm to understand, could be wrong. There was little to no relationship, and I'm sure people will get all upset just by that statement. But he had his own trials, tribulations, problems, like we all do. Okay. You guys have seen me and George not get along. You've seen us have good times, bad times, and Mark was no different. He is human, and my heart and condolences go out to his family. Now, now I want to talk about the fake expats, the toxic expats, and all these other things that some have actually talked about and others have not. So I truly believe all these people putting out all these condolence videos and what a great guy he is and all of this. One probably barely knew Mark. Okay, it is a little, I think, overdone. And it's kind of like when people show up to a funeral, okay, that you haven't known or seen anybody for 20 years. And then it's kind of like just fakeness. And nobody went to go see him in the hospital, as we were to understand. He might have had a few people, and so this also will upset people. But the truth is, he had more enemies than friends before he passed away. And Mark was due to go to court in January over his ground zero incident where he did get into a physical altercation and there was some legal possible big financial um, payouts that were going to be due. And he was under stress. And he even admitted within a 2-month period in several videos how he wasn't taking his maintenance medicine because he was checking his blood pressure every day. Mark had several health issues when he arrived to the Philippines. He had already had heart surgery. As I'm to understand, within the last 2 years, he ended up in the hospital again, almost over the same thing. And so his health wasn't the greatest, but the advice he was giving out was something a little different. Now, we are all faced with our mortality living here in the Philippines. I am not in any good health whatsoever. And neither are a bunch of these guys that are showing up 50, 60, 70-year-old men showing up with health issues, mental issues, and other issues. So when this happens, it needs to be a wake up call for people. Also, when Mark came here, he wasn't in any condition mentally, physically, and money wise. He said all the above. So he rolled the dice on everything. Now, some of his last few videos that I've seen, he actually talked about what is happiness. I have the basic happiness. Basically, you're living an everyday life. And he, by no means, okay, had like the best situation he probably could have, but also he really hit the jackpot when he married Jen. Okay. So he had about as much happiness as he was going to be allowed at that point, but at what cost? Then he called YouTube a hobby. It's not a hobby when you're vlogging or doing videos and interviews all the time and doing the side situation of live streams. But he did slow down and it did show. That's possibly why, because of his health issues. But I warn you about toxic expats. I'm going to warn you, and we have, about other Americans, Canadians. I mean, there's a list of expats here. I'm just throwing in some of the basics. Um, that when you get here, whether it's Dumaguete, Angeles City, or other places, in my personal opinion, and I've said it before, your biggest problem is going to be other expats. And if you're doing a YouTube channel like every other guy that's getting off the airplane, even if you have 100 subscribers, they're going to start on you, okay, eventually. Okay, so they're going to come in and throw you a bunch of negative stuff, whether you're in person at a restaurant or whether you guys are getting stuff on the internet. And not only is this my personal experience since I've been here, add in that I'm an American female that actually speaks my mind. I'm not going to take crap from George, and I'm not going to take crap from the next person. There's a lot of guys coming here that will deal with these problems. So, did Mark deal with this and the stress got to him in the end? Yes, that's what happened at ground zero. According to him, he's saying, Mark, that he said in his own words that he was being bullied or that people were saying things and sending emails, which were never actually confirmed. But he said he was under that type of stress from people just messing with him in his life. But the moment you put yourself on YouTube, you're starting to deal with things like that. Okay. So, my whole point of this video is I really do feel sorry that Mark passed away. But on the other hand, keeping it real, he did it to himself. He came here to the Philippines with little to no money. He still had little to no money, according to good sources. And he was not taking care of his health. Okay. So, you need to take care of your health, take your medicine, all that. Okay. None of us are going to be perfect. The drinking thing, whether you guys or we've mentioned different things like the drinking, the smoking, and all that. Mine is actually eating junk food. I'm not in the greatest health. I have multiple medical conditions. So that is evident. But for Mark, he also came with some mental issues. He already said that. I can't say what he did a long time ago, but go watch his videos, okay? Because he had really bad issues when he was in bad shape when he came, mentally and physically. And in the end, I feel sorry for Jen and the baby. All right. But on the other hand, I kept it real on that. It's simply that she married an older man. She knew what the consequences is. She married a man that had already had serious heart surgery before. And she married him, what, 2 years ago when he was 67. So she knew what she was getting into. She's going to get a check for the baby. The guys are going to be lining up. And as I'm to understand as of right now, money has been sent to her. And they'll continue to send money to her until she remarries. And she will remarry. There's no doubt in my mind. So Jen is going to be okay, but she's not going to be able to unless somebody pays that car payment. Mark was also apparently in some sort of debt between the car, the rents that he claimed he was getting free, and whatever he was putting out. So she'll be left with a hospital bill, and this is going to be a major problem. But the fake YouTubers coming forward, oh, Mark has passed away. I'm sorry that never knew him. 100% was for content. All right. These are all new vloggers or people that don't even cover Expat or whatever. It's being covered by trolls and the dark troll channels and all these other people. I'm covering it because it's real. Okay. It's something to be learned, it's something to know. And it's just a tragedy, is what it is. No fakeness here. I feel the others are fake, and they'll be like, she's doing the same. No, not really. We started a few months after Mark when there was only X amount of Dumaguete vloggers. He was one of them. And when there were only X amount of American vloggers in this country that was doing real content, not sitting around and in a live stream talking about, this or that and just talking, hey, I drank last week. No, them are group chats that you're having with other trolls. That's different. But real content creators of some sort. Okay. So something needed to be said because I've waited this long to see how people are going to roll out the the fakeness, okay? Again, unedited. And that's exactly what's going on. Most of them, I mean, immediately it was, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and it's sad, and it's tragic." And then I read the comments, and everybody, I've seen those same people in those dark troll channels. So, as a fellow American, I will repeat again that it is very sad. It's a bite of reality in the Philippines. Medical is not the best. Nobody technically can really afford it because they don't have the savings for something like that that's going to happen. Mark was one of them. I'm one of them. I'm faced with that could happen to me tomorrow. And I'm sure that's how it's going to go down. People will talk for a few minutes and then you're forgotten. You will come here, you will try, and as my song that we just recently written and produced, that the Philippines is a harsh mistress and he lost the game. And now his little mistress and child will move on, and the next expat will come in and take care of her. So thank you guys for listening, and big condolences to his family because I feel sad for him. That's what I feel. And life is harsh. Thank you for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I have to ask you. Thank you, guys. See you at the next live stream.
Hello, video. Welcome back to the channel. As most of you know, I've been here in the Philippines for almost 6 years now. I have my YouTube channel for about 3. And I meet a lot of people, men from all over the world. And I just wanted to touch on a subject. It's a little difficult to talk about. And it's very important because a lot of guys just don't even think about this. I want to talk about expats living in the Philippines, especially those of you who are considering retiring here and staying here in the Philippines. Who knows, maybe this video could buy you a few extra years of life. The question is, what are expats, foreigners here in the Philippines, what are they dying from? Because it's happening on a regular basis. And as you know, the Philippines is a beautiful and welcoming country, attracting expats from all over the world. Makes it, it's a popular choice for retirees. And of course, digital nomads like me. There's more digital nomads here like every day. However, like anywhere in the world, life expectancy and health for expats, for older men, for seniors, depends on various factors. And if you understand these common health risks, it can help you be more prepared and maybe live a little bit longer. The number one cause of death here of seniors in the Philippines is cardiovascular disease, which I think is pretty true around the world. And one of the leading causes of death for expats in the Philippines is heart attacks. As you may know, this has been my health issue. I had hypertension, I had heart attack, I had quadruple bypass surgery. And strokes and heart attacks are a common reason for expats here to pass away. I myself ended up in the emergency room here with a heart issue. I don't know to find out what it was. They said a heart event, but that was a couple of years ago. Additionally, stress levels, whether from adjusting to a new country, a new environment, managing their finances, that can lead to high blood pressure, something else I've had too, which is a major risk for strokes and heart attacks. It's crucial, to monitor your blood pressure regularly. I monitor my blood pressure every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. If it's okay, it's usually good, then I don't take any medication at all. And I found the longer I'm here, the less stress I have, the less medications I need. But you have to have the pressure, eat a regular diet, engage in regular physical activity. And on the bright side, many of my friends like me have told me that after they've been here in the Philippines for a while and things are going well for them, that their blood pressure goes down, that they're off all their medications, they're just doing much, much better. They don't even need medication. I was on 6 medications when I had my first heart event here in the Philippines, and now I'm down to just 2. And so, it's much better. I feel better. And a lot of the guys I know that have come over here taking care of themselves, they're getting better too. I do meet a lot of men that come over here, and that's exactly what they do. They all of a sudden decide they've got a new lease on life, and they want to live longer, and they want to live healthier, and they start walking and working out and cut down the drinking, eating a healthy diet, and they turn their whole lives around. You wouldn't even recognize them a year after they got here. So here we go. Harsh realities of life after 60. First of all, no one is coming to save you. And also, no one cares about your past career, the thing that defined your entire life for many, many years. Don't bore your friends and your family with your stories about work. I know it was entertaining back maybe when you were working, but now you're not, you're retired. Those days are over, so let it go. Um, you're going to regret not being more present in the lives of the people you love. How many hours of time did you waste watching TV when you could have spent it with your children? Just think about it. Your favorite show was on, your kids go to bed, be quiet, watch a football game. Next thing you know, they're all grown up and gone, and you wish you had those days back. And speaking of days, your remaining days are priceless. The average American, I looked this up, an average American male lives to be 76 years and change. So you probably, if you're my age, you probably spent 90% of your days already. Think about it, you spent 90% of your days already. Don't waste the time you have left. The common words of men on their deathbeds, and I've seen this in quotes time and time again of guys that died. The last thing that they said, I think Patrick Swayze said it. I thought I had more time. They just thought they had more time. They didn't realize that they were going to die so young.